Hey, 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 what's up, people? You know who it is. It's me again. It's your boy TeaRon. That's TeaRon, period. And I'm back again. And today, I'm super excited about this because for some reason, even though this is a black ass podcast, I haven't made it down to the A, which is Atlanta, but I'm doing that today. And when we're visiting Atlanta today, I couldn't be doing it with two amazing guests. These two ladies here are the host of the Poppin After 30 podcast. And the reason I am so excited about this today, because since they're here, I get to drink. And I'm excited about that. And we'll talk about what we're drinking here today. But first, let's let these ladies introduce themselves. Lala, Key, you with me?
What up, what up, what up?
What up?
Yo, what's up? This is Keyoshia. I am one half of Poppin After 30, straight from the A, but originally from Cali. What up, good people?
And what's up? I'm Lala, straight from Cali, living in the A. What up? ATL ho. I don't know. Can we cuss on here?
You can definitely cuss on here.
Okay, ATL ho. We up in this thing. Thank you so much for inviting us on the to be a guest on your podcast. We feel really honored.
Oh no! I feel honored. I feel super grateful. Like I said, you all are here, so that means I get to drink. And I usually don't drink when I record, but that seems to be like, the vibe. I'm trying to catch the vibe. Yeah. I'm trying to be Popping After 32. Let's face it, I'm 30. So I get to be included today, and I feel grateful. So since you all got me drinking, let's go ahead and hit that at the top. What are you all sipping on here on today?
I've got a little red wine in my glass. I'm trying to keep it a little classy. Normally I'm kind of ratchet. So, it's a Tuesday. So we're going to turn it down and just have our red wine. I think this is a Roscato Smooth. So it's not very sweet, but it's bold like me.
Okay, honey. Okay, babe. Yeah, she got me sipping. I'm not a wine drinker. I'm a Hennessy drinker, but there's no Hennessy in the house today. So I am drinking some Bernie, Berne. I'm pretty sure that's not how you pronounce it, but Bernie Sanders all the way. And and I'm already a little lit off of it. So it goes clink, clink.
You already lit. We just cracked it open.
I'm a lightweight.
Just cracked it open.
I made me a pretty hood beverage, a beverage, if you will.
A beverage.
So I'm gonna give you all a little mixology lesson here real quick. So what you want to do, all right? You want to get yourself a tall glass. Any glass will do. And then you want to get you some ice. Now, any ice will not do. We like the shaved ice. We like that the ice that you get at Chick-fil-A. You know that shit, right?
Yeah.
So I just you go to Chick-fil-A, you can buy like a bag of ice like that. Nobody told me. I saw it on the internet, and then I found out, and I was like, oh shit. So I got some of that. And then I took me some peach punch. You know who makes peach punch?
Who? Hawaiian?
No, ew, that's just straight fructose.
The ghetto.
The ghetto. Hawaiian punch, yo. If you never had Hawaiian punch, because I don't think they sell it ever. I don't even think they sell it in Hawaii. Okay, that shit. It's thick. It's thick.
It reminds me of my childhood dreams. Basketball outside all day. Get that 1 cup of good Hawaiian fruit punch. Make your tongue red.
Make your tongue red, and then you get that red ring on your mouth and every fucking thing. Yeah, I'm not drinking that because that's slime. That's too thick. That's like Sunny D thick.
Yeah.
Well, who makes the peach punch?
So peach punch is it's Minute Maid. So it's fructose, but it's not as much.
Oh my goodness. So let's
But then the alcohol that's in here, it is ghetto. Then the alcohol that's in here though, see, I'm not really a wine drinker either, unless I'm like pairing it up with like, some kind of meal or something. But I'm not a Hennessy drinker either because that will get me put out the house.
Ooh.
So
entertaining.
Now, see, some people it's vice versa for them. The dark liquor is okay. The light stuff is fine. I have tequila in my glass here today.
Okay, tequila.
But What? I'm just like, I don't know.
You trying to get lit, honey, okay? Listen, the last time I had
it's
tequila,
a special occasion.
Yeah, you're right, boo. Thank you. But the last time I had tequila, I think I almost got kicked out of college.
Yeah, that should have you on a roller coaster to Puke Town. That should be having you, as soon as you close your eyes, you feel like you on a Wonder Wheel or something, like just spinning.
Wait, hold on. Because for me, it does nothing. Maybe I have demons. I don't know.
Not the demons.
Key, how'd you almost get kicked out of college with the tequila? What happened?
Oh, my goodness. Let me tell you. Okay, so number one, we went to school at Cal State Dominguez Hills, okay? Down the street from Compton, California. So it's a little hood. And
just a little bit.
Just a little bit, but it's okay. So we're at this party. The party gets lit. Somehow the tequila comes out. And at the time, I was in the student government. And in the student government, you got to carry yourself a certain way. You can't be seen doing too much. Well, my new freshman roommate at the time that I was supposed to be looking after, because she was like my mentee, gets a hold of the tequila. I get a hold of tequila. And the only thing I remember is that we were in the parking lot, confused as to where our dorm was. So we were screaming, looking for our other roommate because we didn't know where we were. And of course, campus security rolls up and we underage and they like, are y'all even supposed to be, like, why are you drunk right now? Like, it was just, that's the short end of it. It was a whole situation. Yeah.
What's funny to me is that as you tell the story, because you almost put this blanket of innocence on top of it before, because did you hear that, Lala? Where she's like somehow the tequila just appeared,
right?
Or he's like, oh, the tequila happened upon me. You ever have just drinks happen upon you?
That's what happened. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay.
Okay. Well, you was upon to get kicked out of school. That's what you was about to do.
Listen.
Oh goodness.
I had to do community service after that.
Oh really?
Oh yeah, it was the whole situation. They were like, you are part of the student government, and you should carry yourself a certain kind of way. And that's right when, like, I don't remember what it was, like drug-free awareness or something on campus was happening. So I had to put on all these different programs to talk about like being drug-free and including like not being drunk and driving at the same time. So it was the whole situation.
So you had to be like the dare lion, right?
Absolutely. Like, yes. And of course, you got people like Lala and her crew like, ha ha ha, look at you. Like, you got to put on all these dumbass shows.
Right. I sure was looking at you like, forget y'all these squares from Delaware.
So you all went to school together, but what were you in college for? Because it wasn't for the drinks.
The party.
Look, let's not say that. Don't say that.
Our school was kind of like the HBCU of California. It was just like majority Black people that went to our school.
That's my kind of school.
Yeah. So it was considered a party school. But, I mean, we did work. I had graduated with a 3.0. So, I mean, I did some studying along with turning up. But yeah, me and Keyoshia, we ran in different circles. Like, she was in that student government crowd and I was in a sorority. So we just did our own thing. And
what's your sorority?
Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, the blue and the white Z-Phi. And I'm old.
You see, I always like asking people what they pledge and what their sorority is and all that, because when they mention it, they have to give the whole spiel. Because I just asked that, but she was like blue and white.
Gotta do the whole thing. You gotta let them know.
You gotta have, and that's what I pledged for. They made you practice it over and over and over and over again. You have to spit your information. So boom, that's why that they say the whole thing.
I've always been like not involved in the groups. I don't know why, because I've always had like leadership qualities about me, or at least that's what they tell me. And I feel like I could have easily gotten involved with a fraternity or whatever, but it never came up for me. I was always like, how when something comes out new on Netflix and everybody's like, oh, you gotta watch it, you gotta watch Tiger King, you gotta watch First of all, I'm not. But when that happens, I'm always the type to be like, yeah, everybody's watching that, so I'm not gonna watch that. So I think that's kind of the vibe that kept me away from.
Oh yeah, you
the
just go
sorority
against the grain, and with the sorority, like you gotta be they their whole thing is you cannot be an individual. You know, you have to be a unified group. So you have to have the mentality of being a group and thinking like a group, thinking as one. So I know a lot of people who they had conflicting information about joining just simply because of that. Like you really have to give up yourself to be a part of this group. It's serious, but I mean it's all positive, you know.
I never made it that way. I never made it to any type of sorority. I was always very much like the student government from the time I got to college. I was on the basketball team for a second, and then I became the student body president of my university. So I was very much the opposite of
You better tell everybody and give yourself all the props.
Baby, that's what we do. The confidence is on 5,000.
How have those things, being a part of the student government, being a part of a sorority, how have those things translated into now adult life? In terms of you leaving Cali, moving to Atlanta, pursuing careers, you know, just doing the thing. How do you feel like that's carried over?
I think for myself personally, just being involved in the student government, it gives you that leadership quality that can't be taught. You know what I mean? Like you can transition into any situation and be able to lead through a situation. So for me, I learned how to think quickly, how to solve problems, how to command a room, and how to command respect in, you know, whatever room I step in, and make you, even if I don't know what I'm talking about, that political piece of it, you gonna think I know what the hell I'm talking about, and then you gonna see my side of the view.
That's what's up. Those are actually good qualities. I can't even argue that. What about you, Lala? How did the sorority translate for you even now? Because the sororities, you know, the networking is solid. Like people's, you know, they stay and they're always like, you know, keeping those sisterhoods going, those brotherhoods going. How has that carried over for you into your 30s?
Well, you know, the networking is legit. And me being a part of that organization, I knew that if I moved to Atlanta or I can move anywhere in the world, there will be a Zeta there somewhere. I would be able to find a Zeta. So I always felt like me moving here to Atlanta and not really having, like, I don't have any family here. It's just me. My closest family is in Arkansas. So, you know, taking that step and moving out here, the only people I did know when I moved here was my sorority sisters. So that was like home base for me. And I mean, I really feel like I can go anywhere in the world and I would know somebody because of the organization and the networking. And I will have a plug somewhere. Even in the job field. So yeah, that networking aspect, and also like, I mean, being in an organization like that, if you didn't have any event planning skills and if you weren't creative before, you learn how to use your resources to make some things happen. And that's definitely what I learned and what I still use today in my personal life, in my career. Even with the podcast, like you really know how to make nothing into something.
You know what? When you break it down like that, you make me sound like I missed out on some shit.
I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it before because I had a friend I thought just like you. And I feel like anything that you put yourself in is whatever you make it. You know what I'm saying? So if you would have joined that org, and everything like TeaRon from the yard, like you would have been able to be yourself and make whatever that experience was for you. So if you didn't, you know, because I know a lot of people who join, they're like, nah, I don't want to do this, but they still go on to do amazing things, and they network with who they network with, and they bond with who they bond with. You're not supposed to get along with everybody, but it's still some good in it. Overall.
Yeah, see, I should have tried to get involved.
But it's all right. And you know, it's still it ain't too late. Because I know some Qs that's 40 and 50-year-old that's pleasure right now. I know some people that's still trying to get on after 30, after 40. So it is never too late to get in there.
Me. I'm they.
Go do it.
Are you sure? Because I don't want to be pledging. I want to pledge with the kids. You know what I'm saying?
And you don't want to pledge with the kids.
You don't.
You don't pledge with the kids.
You need a 30 and over process. You do not want to pledge with 18-year-old. You don't want to do it.
Because listen, we got jobs, we got careers.
I'll be trying not to get over the hump. But speaking of 30, because, that's the number that keeps hitting. Again, at the top, we mentioned the podcast, but let's talk about it a bit further here.
Yeah.
How did the idea for it come about? And I know it was birthed in the midst of this whole thing we call 2020, because that kind of really gave us time to develop some ideas. But where did it really stem from? And what does it mean for you as you're going forward and putting out those episodes, that all that content, all that merch? We'll get into the merch in a second. But how did that all come up for you with Poppin After 30?
Poppin After 30, honestly, was birthed by me and Law talking shit all the time. We've mentioned it before, and it's on one of our first couple episodes that we did, but Poppin After 30 came about because me and Law, and we'll get into it a little bit. I'll tell kind of the story, but La tells it way better than I do. But when we were in college, me and La just did not get along. We fucking hated each other, ran in completely different circles.
Let me jump in there. We did not hate each other.
Okay, you're right. Dislike?
We dislike
by association?
By association.
Tell the story. You tell it.
Oh, Lord. So me and Keyoshia had an invisible beef on the campus of California State University, Dominguez Hills. She was, like we said earlier, she was in a student government and I was in a sorority. We just did our own thing. And I had a couple of issues with a few of her friends, her bestie, her boyfriend at the time, who was whack as fuck. And that was whack. You in agreement?
Yeah, he's whack. He's whack.
Hindsight is 2020.
But
right?
A whole wake up.
But foresight is 2021. But we'll get into that too.
Honey, you preaching. So yeah, so we kind of had a beef. I think at one point in time we had ran against each other because somebody suggested that I join student government. Now, mind you, this is her world, but they wanted me in there. So I'm like, okay. The president at the time, he was like, Lala, I want you to run for social activities commissioner. And Keyoshia was supposed to run for community activities commissioner or some shit like that. Somehow the wires got crossed and me and her ran against each other. So she ended up winning and I was like, man, fuck her. And her boyfriend was in my face like, I can't believe you thought that you were going to win. Like, he was just a real asshole. But after that, I was just like, you know what, forget her. Like, I don't know her like that. This ain't my world. I didn't even want to do it. They trying to talk me into it just because of who I was on campus. And they wanted me more involved. So I lost. Then after that, I got kicked out the dorms. And it was one of her good friends.
Was you drinking tequila too?
I wasn't on this occasion. I wasn't, but it was a girl I was fighting with, and she said I hit her with a broom, and I didn't. Me and her were just arguing. But the girl,
wait.
You can't just skim over that. You can't just skim over that. Let me jump in here. Let me jump in right in this moment, okay? Listen.
Wait.
Rob, let me tell you. Listen. So the universe has been trying to get me and La together forever, okay? The one thing that La always forgets is that we were supposed to live in the same dorm. The day that La got kicked out the dorm was the day that I was moving into that exact same dorm.
Y'all see how she got me kicked out?
Listen.
Oh, so she took your spot.
No. I was taking somebody else's spot. What had happened was before I could even get to the dorm, La and my good friend at the time got into it And I came in on the tail end of these two arguing and screaming outside of the dorm. And then, you know, the RA gets called, the head RA gets called, and they're like, Locke, you gotta go. Like, I'm tired of you. You gotta go. And we like, what happened?
Yeah, they kicked me out the dorms. The girl, her best friend in the whole wide world, has said I hit her with a broom, and that was not true.
So it wasn't a broom, it was a mop.
It was not neither. I was cleaning up the house, and she had came in and said some slick shit, and I just went off on her. And I told her because at first they was like, "We're gonna call the police. We're gonna press charges." And I was like, first of all, and there's no other witnesses. And they were like, "Well, she got marks on her face," and I was like, "Her boyfriend beats her. That's marks from her boyfriend. They're old."
Shit, man.
Like, I went in, and then I was like, so at the end they just was like, "Well, we're gonna kick you out the dorm." So I got kicked out the dorm. So by then I was like, "Fuck Keyoshia and everything she stands for."
Whoa! Oh my God!
She has had quite a bit to drink. It sounds like.
Yeah. Yes. You know, when the liquor start flowing, the truth start flowing with it.
So I was just so irritated with Keyoshia, but we didn't talk again since then. I don't even think I've seen her, and it wasn't until she had moved to Atlanta. A mutual friend was like, "Hey, you know, Keyoshia moved to Atlanta," and I was like, "Okay, whatever. Like, I don't care." And then we ended up kicking. And I think the first time we kicked it, we went to the Jazz Fest. Where did we go? To the Jazz Fest.
To the Jazz Fest. Yep.
And we had a good time. I was like, okay, she cool. And then we kicked it a few more times after that. And I said, okay, that's bae. And then we kicked it again and we started going on trips together. And I was like, oh man, what the fuck I've been thinking this whole time. This my soulmate. Like, what the fuck? Like, we super duper cool. And then through that relationship and our back and forth, we were like, let's start a podcast. And we was like, let's start a podcast. And so we started recording ourselves randomly. One trip, we was coming back from New Orleans. Mm-hmm. And we started just recording our conversations, the shit that we would talk about, the jokes, the everything. We started recording it. And then we was like, okay, let's take this seriously. And so this past July, we had created Poppin After 30 podcast. And then we started, we was just started to build the empire. We started to build the team. We got the editor and the graphic designer, and we took pics and the concept and the topics, and it just kept growing until right now in December. I can't even believe the collaborations that we had, the people we've met, the growth that we've had. We almost at 3,000 downloads.
Come on, downloads.
1,400 followers on Instagram. I mean, just we're both working. And it's all because of this friendship. And I honestly think if we probably would have been friends in college, we probably wouldn't even be friends now. Because you know how female friendships work.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Because I know I've had like a lot of friends over the years, especially, when you're like college age, just coming out of high school in your 20s and stuff. Those people ain't supposed to be around forever, no way. Right. So you're absolutely right. Like, not having that close bond. It really gave you some common ground, but you also had room to kind of grow and develop. It's like I tell people all the time, I'm like, grown up friends don't necessarily need to talk every day. They don't necessarily need to be around each other every day. When you get to a certain point, you just have a mutual understanding, and that's what makes you friends. It's like when it's just natural and you don't have to put any effort in. But you can like go away for 2 weeks, do your grown-up shit. Hey, I got work, I got school, whatever it is. And then you come back and you just basically push resume. You pick right up where you left off. Those are the best kind of the friendships where it's like, I didn't really try to make this happen, but eventually it did. And because it did, look,
right. Yeah.
I'm glad it came together.
And I think really it was almost like we were meant to meet up at this point in time. Because again, like we went to college together. We knew the same people. We like our circles overlapped. We just never connected in those circles. And the fact that we both had no clue that the other was moving to Atlanta. Then we get to Atlanta. I have no idea that she's here in Atlanta. Two of our mutual friends were the ones who linked us up. They was like, oh, you know a lot here, right? And I was like, dang, I didn't even know that. And then finally it just happened. And now I feel like we're the closest out of everybody that has moved here that we actually know.
Besties for life, bitch.
Oh,
you stuck with it. It sounds like.
I am. Yeah, that's the
All
thing.
right.
That's the thing.
So, I like I said, I wanted to talk about this merchandise you all have because number one, it's 2020. We know that we should be supporting our sisters. We know that we should be supporting Black businesses. So I'm gonna brag about y'all's merch here for a moment because whoever decided to tie in my childhood with modern day merch for something I'm listening to currently, let me tell you something. You got me.
Oh, yeah.
I've been putting my money to the side. I'm like, I'm gonna get one of these damn hoodies because it just works. It's so effortless. Keyoshia is a student government, so she probably just was like figuring out how to, put the taxes on the merchandise. Lala, did you come up with the concept? You say?
Yeah, I did come up with the concept. Keyoshia, when we first started Poppin After 30 podcast, Keyoshia was like, we need merch. We need a clothing line. I was like, how we gonna do this? Like, what is this gonna look like? What is it gonna be? I couldn't see it. And it wasn't until I was listening to, what song was I listening to? It was a song with I only want you to love. I don't want nobody else. And the little album cover art looked just like the Poetic Justice. So I was like,
why do I know the song but I don't know the song?
Isn't that Chris Brown or
I think it's a dream. Anyway, I don't know who it is.
We old as hell, okay? I'm just
But the album art was the Poetic Justice heart with the Poetic Justice font. And so at the time, I was dating a graphic designer. So I went to him and I told him, I was like, I got this idea. I just need to see how it's going to look. So we sat down together on a couch and I was like, I want to see Martin. I want to see Living Single. I want to see all that. I want to see Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and just see if you could just put Poppin After 30 in all those different fonts. And he did. He created that. I just told him every detail, every single thing, like how I wanted to look. And he was able to create it and just really make the vision come to life. And it was lit. Like, I was just like surprised at once you could visualize something and see it, you'll be extremely surprised at what it turns into and what comes about it. We've been doing really good selling the merch. We started mid-September. We launched the merch, and I think we already $1,000 in sales. So even though it's not pushing hard, but
that's hard for the pandemic,
right? Hard for the pandemic, hard for our following, our listeners, and people have been like tuning in and giving us great feedback on it. So, and it's all our favorite shows: Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Martin, Poetic Justice, our cult classic, all that, which we actually met through making the logo. We already had an existing friend, Giovanni. She was on the cast of all that. So when she saw, she was like, "Oh my God!" And then
Giovanni Samuels.
Yes, and I went to middle school with her. Yeah, that's bae. And then she introduced us to Leon, who was out here in Atlanta a little bit ago. We'll be talking to him in a couple of weeks and recording with him. He has a podcast out, but like, you just never know. And just knowing her, she introduced us to other people, and so you just never know what you'll be able to create and what that creation or that content will bring you. You'll be extremely surprised at what you can visualize and then what can come to fruition.
Yeah, I think the other thing about this whole idea, number one, Poppin After 30 works is because La is very much the creative executor. I'm very much like, we need to do this, but the vision is not there for me. I know that it's something that I want to do, and then La will execute it and be like, boom, what you think? So that's why we work. But I think the reason why this particular collection that we have, because we have two collections, both collections really work, but the nostalgia collection works because in the time of a pandemic, right? We're not doing anything but watching reruns anyway. Like people are like, yo, I just watched Martin. Yo, I just watched, the all that.
I feel like I always just watch Martin because
you do, because you
I've seen it every episode, but I scream like I never seen that shit in my life.
Yes, every time. And it's crazy because we used to watch it as a kid. You're like, haha, this is funny. But now you get it as an adult. Like, you're like, damn, I really get it. Yeah. I get what they're going through. Because they technically were recording at our age that we are now. Right? So, like, you understand the stuff that they're going through. And I think that's why our merch is working, is because people are like, yo, I really identify with the podcast. And the fact that y'all got this nostalgic merch to go with it, it just goes hand in hand.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. It just hits all the right marks, I think, for what y'all's podcast goes over, and then just like the overall like feel, especially nostalgia is like it's the thing. It's what you want to
definitely
go for. I want to touch on something that kind of got glossed over, and we'll see kind of where it goes. So being 30, you get over that hump. Things start to change. You start to perceive things a bit differently, and you start to approach things in a more serious manner. Like you have less time for bullshit. With that being said, you were talking about the merch, and you mentioned that you were dating someone. So,
Lord,
what has dating been like for you all? As these college-educated women moving to a new city, trying new things. We're in the midst of a pandemic, so that's always going to be a factor in the whole dating situation anyway. Is anyone married? Does anyone have kids between you two? Does anyone have a puppy? What's the situation? What's the whole thing like? Keyoshia, I'll start with you.
Okay, well, I do have a puppy. His name is Drake. Yes, like the rapper. Don't judge me, okay? Let me tell you, because this is a really funny story. So when I got to Atlanta, I was very lonely. This is before me and Lala started kicking it tough. And I was like, dang, I need a companion. I need somebody to kick it with. So I went down to the Atlanta Humane Society, and there was a litter of pit bulls, little baby pit bulls. And it was Drake, Future, and Tyga. They were brothers. And I was like, I got to adopt Drake. He's the swaggiest one in the group. So I took Drake home, and now Drake is 3 years old. I got him when he was 6 weeks old. So I have a puppy. I am in a relationship. Like, what's crazy is it's probably like the first real adult like relationship. Like, we live together now. We have to communicate. I'm very much of, I like my own space, and if you're in my space, I like you to do things my way in my space. So now to have to compromise, right? Yeah, like now I got to compromise. Now I got to think about the other person. Sometimes I'll be like, shut the hell up, get out my space. But I can't do that all the time.
What's it been like? And we'll get Lala. Don't worry, she's not gonna escape this. But what's it been like for you?
Damn.
What's it been like for you, Key? Just dating during like this whole pandemic situation. Like, have you been like stuck in the house? Well, you said you lived together, right? Were you living together before the pandemic?
We actually moved in together in the middle of the pandemic. So we met probably almost 3 years ago. We met. We didn't start dating until last year. And it was very much just, we didn't know where it was going to go, right? And I was very much against the dating. I was like, you know what? I had just broken up, 5-year relationship, gone down the drain. I was like, fuck these dudes out here. Wow. I don't want to date. Everybody leave me alone. Don't even look at me. Don't think about me. Don't tell me I'm cute. I already know that. And I was done. This dude comes. He gets super involved. He's like, I want to take you out. I want to take you on a date. I want to do this. I'm like, no, I don't like you. Don't come talk to me. Stay away from me. Boom. He's persistent. So now I'm like, oh, I gotta, give him one chance, take him out, let him take me out on a date. We go out on a date, and then the rest is history. So we now live together, and we've got our little pup with us, and that's it.
That's it. That's all. That's all you need right now.
Yeah,
I promise. I can assure you, that's all you need.
Baby, it's a struggle. I know. I be watching.
Did you start out like, did you do like the online dating, or did you like meet in person?
Yeah. It was terrible. Like, I was on, what is it? Tinder. That's the swipe right? Tinder.
Oh, you just brought something into my head.
Why are you pretending like you don't know what Tinder is? Girl, bye.
She's like, what? Tinder, is it?
The Tinder?
Let me tell you something about Tinder real fast. One thing I don't like about Tinder, and had the blessing of being able to have work that has allowed me to travel to different countries and things like that. So I've actually done the Tinder thing just casually in different places. I need to ask y'all a question. Maybe y'all can shed some light on this. Black girls don't swipe back on me. They don't.
They tripping.
I've been so many places, and like black women won't swipe on me, and I don't know. I wish I still had my profile, but I don't anymore because it just didn't go my way. But I just legit used to be on there, and I would swipe. I think women, when they use Tinder and things like that, they're more meticulous, or they're more particular. Guys will go on there and will just swipe, swipe, and then you kind of sift out, once the matches start to roll in. So that's our whole approach. I think that's probably also another reason it didn't work for me. Yeah, I would swipe, and the goal for me when I was doing the apps was always to be black as fuck. And if something happened, then we would grow and we'd have some black as fuck kids, right? But black girls would never swipe on me.
So you saying you used to date white girls or non-black girls?
I don't know if it's like a regional thing. I don't know if it was just like something that's not like popular for black people to really be on. I don't know. I never did Tinder when I visited Atlanta. So I don't know.
Maybe that's why you're supposed to do Tinder at.
But I was like, okay, let me see what happens. So I've been in like Belgium, and I was in London, and I was in all these places, and I was like, this is not working for me. But the white girls would always swipe on me. But I felt like when they would do that it was always a situation of, it's Tinder, it's Tinder. It is what it is, right? So some people are on there, just to do what they do. So sometimes it's just like a chocolate fantasy,
like
right?
A fetish.
Yeah. So you got to kind of have to figure that thing out first. And that's not my thing. I'm not trying to give somebody, okay, that has been my thing one time, but I'm not trying to do that all the time. So
ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nobody judging. Do you?
But yeah, I've just like had this whole situation where I just kind of gave up on that whole thing because I couldn't get black women to swipe back on me.
Did you just say you gave up on dating black women?
Who, me? No, I haven't.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh my God, why?
No, I haven't. I just stopped it in that medium, in that particular aspect. I haven't been, I was just like, this ain't gonna work. This ain't the approach. Online dating is hard for me. Lala, you online dating?
Yes, I have done it, and I'm like saying fuck online dating right now. I'm just so traumatized. It's so triggering, like you get on there, it's the same cycle. You get on there, you match with somebody, you talk for a little bit, you talk to them on the phone, you FaceTime, you go out to dinner, you find out that they a fuckboy, and then it ends, then you get back on there, and the same cycle happens over and over and over again. And I think online dating kind of takes away from, like, because everybody's so accessible and everybody's so replaceable that nobody really takes it seriously. And that's why I can't stand it. But, we're over 30, we're millennials. How do you meet people in this time, especially during a pandemic? Like, how do you really meet somebody? Like right now, the only way to really meet somebody is online. Like, how do you really find somebody?
You know what? It is true. But I think like the hard part for online dating, especially right now, is just like, I feel like there needs to be progression that happens when you're online dating, especially if you're serious about like actually meeting people and getting to know people and things like that, casting your net, But if you do it right now during the pandemic, you're going to be chatting with somebody for quite a while. And it's like, okay, where's the progression? Because at some point I'm getting frustrated because I'm ready to meet you. You know what I mean?
Right. And people are meeting in a pandemic. And right now, I think more men, this is really their time to shine because places are on lockdown. You can't really take a chick out Like, you could save money on dating. You could actually go to Netflix and chill at somebody's house because it's more acceptable because of the pandemic. So dudes are winning right now. They really out here, like, they don't have to spend money. Like, they can literally just chill at the house or do a Zoom date or a virtual date.
I think this is a better opportunity for people to actually connect without the physical, right? So I'm very...
Wait, but we want the physical.
You do, right? But it's much better when you have that connection, right? So, like, for me, it was with my boyfriend right now. For us, he's in the military, so he was traveling a lot. And we were able to, FaceTime all the time and talk on the phone. And so we had a deeper connection because, let me back up. We met on Hinge. That's how me and my boyfriend met. We met on Hinge. And it's a dating app. And
I feel like, I never tried Hinge because I feel like everybody on there is super serious, or it's crafted out so that you are trying to, meet someone and, get. Sometimes I really just be on there because, So sometimes I like to have the option of, like, maybe this will get serious.
Yeah, no, I feel you. But see, what was crazy is, remember I told you I was done with dating. One of my cousins actually told me, she was like, "We about to make you a Hinge profile," and I was like, "All right, whatever." So we met on Hinge, and I wasn't really trying to entertain nobody. And then here comes this guy. So he was actually out of town at the time when we first started talking back and forth, and then from talking online to exchanging numbers to FaceTiming. So we actually got to know a lot about each other before we actually met. So what was really cool was when we actually met, when he was back in Atlanta, he had knew so much about me that he had already planned a date, and it was like all my favorite stuff because we had talked about it. So for me, yeah, it was really dope because for me, what I'm saying is now in a pandemic, like, if you're looking to be serious, this is the perfect time because now y'all can connect on a different level. You know what I'm saying? So then when you hit that physical, boom, that it's lit. It's already it's popping.
But I mean, Lala, are you single too?
Yes, I'm currently single and ready to mingle. But no. I just actually got out of a situation. I met someone during the quarantine. Back in April, we met on Hinge. Keyoshia was telling me a story about how she met her boo. So I went on Hinge and decided to give it a try. My first try on there, I met this guy who I thought was simply adorable. He was super duper cute.
Here's what we'll do, because I always think this is fun. If you could describe this person, like if you could give us like a movie star or a reference, what would this person that you were getting to know, what did they look like?
Oh, baby, good. I want to know.
I don't know. Oh my God. Okay.
Like, you could be like, it's a mix of like Morris Chestnut and, something like, how did this person look?
I would say because I love dark skinned men. So I would say like a Don Cheadle kind of, but with a beard. He had like really big eyes and he was really short. I'm 5'4". He probably was like 5'3". And so maybe
wait a minute. No. He was not 5'3", bro. Give my man some credit. He at least was the same height.
I was looking directly in his eyes, honey. And I'm 5'4", and I just came from the doctor, so they told me.
So that means he had a lot to look up to.
Baby,
he was at least 5'4" with me. We were the same height, even though his profile said he was 5'6", 5'7". But I always deduct a few inches off, so I knew he was probably going to be my same height when I met him. And I don't mind. I don't have anything against short men. I like short men, as long as you're not like extremely short, because I'm 5'4". If you like 4'11" or some shit, then I'm like, what the hell? But no, he was shorter than me, so I don't know if I can really compare him to a celebrity. I can't really think of one, but I was definitely attracted to him. Like, I thought he was super duper sexy.
So he was a dark chocolate Danny DeVito. That's how you would describe him.
Oh my God.
Like a short ass Donald Glover or some shit. Like, I don't know.
No, let me give my man some credit because he had a lot of swag. Like, I'm not gonna discount his swag. So I would say like a Tay Diggs, a little bit shorter.
Okay.
I mean, because his swag, like, he did have nice swag. He dressed really nice. So I got to put him, like, I mean, you could do the height of Danny DeVito, but the swag of
So what happened? Like what made it not like you're not still dating that person, right?
No, fuck him.
What happened?
One wrong move.
No,
what was the online dating situation?
Well, after we met up or whatever, I probably deleted my account first because I don't like the online dating. Plus, all the messages I was getting, it was just stupid. So once me and him got talking like on a regular basis and we started seeing each other on a regular basis, probably after like a month, I had deleted mine. And I didn't really check in with him, but probably like later on down the line, he told me he deleted his too. At one point in time, we were exclusive, at least I thought. And we even went on vacation together. My first vacation, I never went out of town with a man, specifically for going out of town with a man and being together and stuff like that. So that was my first time. Of course, when I joined, just like Keyoshia, I didn't have any expectations. It was like, this is online dating. So I'm not going to expect anything, but I really didn't expect to meet somebody so cool and somebody that I would vibe with and really start to catch feelings for. But he didn't feel the same way. He wasn't upfront about his feelings. I had to find out later. And then I found out that he was sleeping with other people. So he wasn't upfront about that. And I did hold him to a higher standard just because of how he held himself. He was a man of integrity, loyalty. He preached loyalty all the time. He stood on his word. So I trusted him just off of just the way he was.
That's what we would call a Mac.
Oh, that's why I said Mac Daddy too.
That's like that brother was a Mac.
He was a Mac.
Because you gotta think he's been, short all his life. So he's been coming up, short on a lot of things. So you gotta figure out, you gotta work with that. So if you're gonna be successful or, get, anything out of the dating pool, you gotta bring something. Because you're not gonna win. Because I'm just average height myself, but I'm not that damn. I'm not down there.
I'm not gonna put it down like that. He was short. Everything was not short. Everything was
baby.
Everything was intact.
Oh wait, whoa!
And
hey, now
just to put it out there like that.
You must have finished your drink.
He was short, but he was not short. I'm just gonna say that. And but I mean, he was a great guy for what it is. He was a Mac. I think that even though he was short in stature, I never felt that he was insecure about it. I never brought it up. We never talked about it. I'm short myself. Like we like the same height. So I didn't feel any insecurities, or at least he didn't wear his insecurities on his sleeve. And that's what I liked. I liked his confidence. He was extremely confident. And I didn't feel like I had to worry about that part. But he just was a little too confident. I mean, I'm pretty sure he had a roster. A few months that he was judging. And I didn't want to be a part of that rotation. So
you ever seen? You just got me with the too much confidence there. Because sometimes I see somebody and I'll be like, they be doing the most, and I'll be like, damn, you got a lot of esteem.
Too much esteem. Too much esteem.
Like, damn, you got validated as a youth.
Right. And I don't feel like he probably was. Like, he probably was short and they probably made fun of him his life, but he not like, the vibe he was getting off was not like, oh, I hate being short. Because you know how that short man syndrome, they just be mad and angry. And
doing a lot, yeah.
He never gave that to me. So, but yeah, that's over. Fuck him and everything he stands for.
Oh my God.
Period.
Period. Okay.
So since you all know how to make sure that you remain popping after 30 and you just envelop yourself in all these newfound things, this grown ass shit. How do you go forward? How does one continue to date? Or do you just kind of be like, you know what, let the chips fall where they may. I'm not going to put the effort into doing something like that right now. We'll just kind of get over this hump of the rest of the year. Like, what's the situation? How do you move forward?
I think it's important to always have your own dreams and goals. Even though I met him during the pandemic, at the time I was working 2 jobs. We were just starting Poppin After 30. Like, I wasn't like a bum bitch when he met me. Like, I wasn't down and out. Like, I already had things moving and going for myself. So even though me and him were dating, he wasn't my 100% focus. This was just somebody who I spent my nights with and my weekends with when I wasn't working. And because, like I told you, he did graphic design, I was able to incorporate him into my business, and I was able to support his business at the same time. So it wasn't like, I was able to still focus. And I think Poppin After 30 represents Black women over 30 getting money, going through the things that we were going through with love and mental health, but still chasing a bag at the end of the day. Most of the women that me and Key know in our circle are doing well, college educated, good jobs, businesses. And although some may be single in a relationship or married, the money still don't stop. And I think that's important, whether you're going through a breakup or you in the best relationship in your life, is to make sure you continue to get your money and you have your own.
Hey, man.
Yep. And the only thing that I would add to that is it's always important to remember who the fuck you are in anything that you do. Okay, like we represent women who are still popping. So, like for me, when I was dating, I was over dating. Actually, when I was over dating, it took me to take a step back and be like, "You the shit. What is happening? Why are you letting these dudes allow you to compromise what you stand for and who you are?" So the way you move forward is to always know what you want and don't settle for anything less than what you want and what you deserve.
Yes, ma'am.
Speak on it. Now we like to go ahead and take up tithes and offerings.
Everybody get your money ready. Fold that dollar and make it look like it's more than what it is. Come on now.
Oh, gosh. Oh, goodness. That was good. I was feeling that. Maybe I'm feeling this beverage, too, that y'all got me drinking, but I was feeling that.
Yeah, I'm feeling our episodes.
Here's what I want to kind of tie up with here, because as people are hearing this, we're on our way to a new year, and that means new obstacles. That means trying to work with this new normal that we have. A lot of people think that this pandemic situation is going to magically stop once the new year hits, as if this is, hold on, give me just 2 seconds here real quick. Let me tell you something. Americans, shit don't revolve around you. Okay.
Hello.
Wow.
Because while you're waiting on the new year, someone in Japan is already in tomorrow. So when the new year hits, you think the pandemic is just going to stop just for you? You idiot. I'm sorry. I'm really just pissed off when people think like this, because it's really just us that think like this. Well, not me, but them, you know. And it's like, come on, y'all. This is a new normal. Get used to it. Get used to masking up. Get used to, spreading out a little bit. You shouldn't be on top of nobody anyway.
Right.
And if you haven't figured it out by the new year, this is just something that we're going to be doing, because everybody ain't trying to take a vaccine. Everybody's not trying to get, shit stuck up in them and we'll let someone else try that out, someone who's brave enough, and they could be a real American hero or a real global hero in this case. But I'm not going to do it. I'm not that hero. I'm not that person. It's just like, just brace yourself, because this new year, even though we're getting over a hump, a huge hurdle here in the U.S., there's still a lot of people elsewhere who are still experiencing a lot as well. And I always want to shed light on that. So the pandemic is real for all of us around the world. And the new year will roll in, and we're still going to be dealing with this shit. And we're still going to be, chipping away at what is the new normal. And I say to yourself, if Poppin After 30 hasn't already, once they go ahead and get these masks rolling out, because that should be a part of their merch too. Once they get those going, go ahead and buy you one because you might as well have a gang of masks because this is what it is right now. Plus, some of y'all ugly anyway, so you might as well put some dope ass merch on your face.
Baby, honey,
But
come
I
through
say
with
all that
merch.
to say
Right,
this.
your breath stink. You might as well smell your own breath. Wear that mask.
Yeah. You might as well just help me. You know what I'm saying? But I say all that to ask you all this. With the new year coming up so fast, because I don't know how we got here. It was just March. We just got on lockdown. But here we are. What are you all looking for, and how are you going to be continuing to make your 30s pop? What you going to be doing as the new year rolls in?
Baby, we gonna get this shmoney, okay? That's how we gonna make it pop.
And that's on period.
No, let me be serious. You know what? It's a beautiful thing to make it through to the new year. We are all blessed to be able to have this time. And right now, I'm just really focused. I know Lala, same thing. Like, we're really focused on Poppin After 30. And, we do have more dope merch dropping. That plug on masks, don't worry, they'll be there soon. We have an ebook coming up that we are working on. So just a lot of positive things and goals that we have.
Sick of y'all.
You said what?
You know what? I've been drinking this tequila. Now I'm sick of y'all because what ain't y'all doing? Oh my gosh.
Yes, we got some dope stuff. 2021 is about to be the littest year for Poppin After 30. It'll be a full cycle year for us. So again, we got dope stuff coming to you. The goals for me, just, continue to work on Poppin After 30 and see this thing through to the end. So the wheels fall off. I'm a ride with La. And then in my personal life, you know what I'm saying? I have come to this space of new positivity. So I try to not let any negative break this barrier that I have around me of just remaining positive, thinking positive, and really putting positive vibes out there into the universe. And being able to get that back tenfold has been just amazing. So I'm just going to ride this wave into 2021.
Uh-oh. Can you hear me now?
We got you.
I was like, what happened?
I was running my mouth. See, that's tequila's really doing something at this point. Okay. La, what you doing for the new year? How you bringing it all in?
I think my focus for next year is probably going to be the same focus that I had this year, was to get the money, like get the bag, continue to stack. I have goals of buying a home and, starting other business ventures along with Poppin After 30. So just to continue to grow and continue to build my empire. If you see me with one nigga 1 week and a new nigga the next week, mind your business. I'm trying to find my dog. I'm trying to find my dog a father. So just mind your business. And regardless if I'm in a relationship or not, the money is not going to stop. It's never, ever, ever, ever going to stop. And you going to see my face everywhere. Me and Key, we going to the moon. And that's the goal.
Hey.
Sip.
I love it. I love to see it. Well, I'm not going to keep you too long. We're approaching that hour mark. It doesn't feel like it though. This is good shit. I like this.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it.
And you need to when you coming down to Atlanta? That's what I need to know.
Let's talk about that.
Come on.
Here's the thing. I have something to say for Atlanta. Atlanta has always been good to me because every time I've gone down there, it's been for work. So I've always gone down there to get a check and come back home or wherever I gotta go. I've never been to Atlanta just for no reason. Atlanta also takes a lot out of me.
Baby, you can say that one more time for the folks in the back.
I said Atlanta always takes a lot out of me. I kid you not. I don't know if I ever shared this on the pod, but when I was going to Atlanta, I was promoting a book and I had a TV interview that I was doing. And then I had to go all the way across town to do a radio interview. It was a whole thing. On the way down there, because I'm only like 5 hours away. I'm not extremely far from Atlanta. On the way down there, I had an issue with a flat tire. So I had to go and get a new tire, and it was a whole fucking thing. So then that happened. So I, leave. I come back to Atlanta again on a different occasion. And this was for a red carpet, kind of thing, right? I think it was like a rap party for a show or whatever. And so I come and I go in to do that or whatever. And when I'm down there, guess what? I get a flat tire again. And this time it's a different tire, but it goes flat again. And so Atlanta was really giving me a lot of trouble So I kind of stayed away from there for a bit. But I mean, all my people are down there.
You might as well. Listen, don't.
I might as well figure it out. Now, when the pandemic clears up, because some of them folks down there in Atlanta, some of your cousins, them, they just don't believe anything.
Mm-hmm. You're right. Listen, you're right.
They breathing and sneezing and wheezing, and that's the shit I'm not ready for yet. That honestly, when I see somebody, and even if I'm just in public and in passing, and they got their mask under their nose or over their eyes or on one of their ears, or they just got their mask in their hand, or they left it in the car, shit like that. That makes me wince. I don't know if
yes. You're right.
You ever just wince?
Yes. You're like, what the hell? Like, why? Why? You can hear the wince in my voice right now.
Yeah, it's like, and that's the kind of thing I just don't. I'm not ready for. So once we get to a certain point, oh yeah, I'm gonna be in Atlanta because that's where I've had so much fun down there over the years, and I got to get back down.
Yeah.
But once we get to that point, then we'll got to make something happen.
Listen, you need to come down there,
and I'll get a box of merch and I'll bring it up here and sell it.
Yes, honey. Listen, first of all, don't let them tires not let you do great. Okay, Atlanta is where you need to be. Yes, we wide open. We're gonna get our lives together though in this new year. I hope for those who still wearing a mask or under their nose. But come to Atlanta. Come see us. We're going to be okay. We got you. Not all of us is ignorant like that. So, come kick it with us when you can.
It's like everybody ain't Zorro. Fuck your mask.
Right.
To tie it all in, I'll give you both the floor here. But what is your New Year resolution or New Year's resolution in one sentence, if you would? I know Key is going to say to get the money, for sure.
There you go. Wrapped up in a bow.
What about you?
I think for me it's to be unapologetically myself. I think so many times we care a lot about what other people think, and I'm guilty of that. And even on this podcast, when we get negative comments or people that don't agree with our perspective, just being like, you know what, I'm gonna be me regardless, and then rolling with that. I think that'll be my main focus, and not really giving a fuck about what others think or say, and just doing me, period. I think that's my sentence right there.
La. I said one sentence, not a run on this. But I feel you though.
Feel that. Period. Sentence. Fuck you. I'ma do me.
There you
go. And just to piggyback on the bad comments, okay, we're gonna roll into this, and this is what it's gonna be. As you know, before we go, I always like to remind you that you can leave a podcast rating, review, comment, subscribe, follow, wherever it is you do your shit, do it. But here's what I always ask. When you are going on to iTunes, Apple Podcasts, whatever it is, and you're leaving that rating and review, do me a favor, leave a 5-star rating on my podcast, The Ubiquitous Blacks, but also on Poppin After 30 as well. Leave a 5-star review, a 5-star rating. If you even think that you have to leave less than 5 stars, do me a favor, keep that shit to yourself, and we'll be fine.
Yes, thank you.
I'm always gonna take a step here, and I'll make sure that to include all the links and the show notes for Poppin After 30, so that way you can check out our sisters and support them, support that merch, which I'm so crazy about. And of course, you can always leave that rating, leave that review. You can email us, ubiquitousblacks@gmail.com, whether it's a question, whether it's an inquiry, or whether it's just some shit you want to share on the show. Or, I'm sorry, C. We ain't even looking at each other. But here on the show.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we got to get used to that. So whether we could, you get the point. Bottom line, reach out. This is a two-way street. We're in this together. And we're all trying to grow, and we're trying to do our thing. So come 2021, as you're hearing this, on whatever date it is you're hearing this, I want to wish everyone a happy new year. Peace, prosperity, all that good shit. And for those of us who didn't make it, Our prayers are with you, your family, and hopefully, we start to get over the hump and we make things happen.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yes.
All right. So whether you are Black in Paris, France,
Or Black in Atlanta,
or Black in Cali,
remember, we
are
are Black
everywhere. We took over the whole thing.
That works. I like it. I will stick with it. It was fun. I appreciate you all. Thank you, Lala. Thank you, Key. Thank you, Poppin After 30. Thank you, listeners. Happy New Year, everybody.
Yes. Happy New Year.
We out.
Bye.
Bye.